Hello, dear Odooers. Here at Stealthy Wood, we recently expanded our business to sell 3D printers to be able to print furniture. As we want to ensure that our customers' operations keep running as planned, we decided to assist them with the installation, repair, and maintenance at their location. Offering such services will increase the value for our customers and ensure recurring revenue for Stealthy Wood. With Odoo Field Service, we can seamlessly manage these jobs from start to finish. For example, we can easily create and schedule tasks, organize them by project, ensuring that we only assign employees with the right skills, and adjust what we have planned with simple drag and drops. Using the app streamlines our processes, which saves us time and money and increases customer satisfaction. As Odoo works on any mobile device connected to the internet, our employees can use the app anywhere, which improves both our workers and our customers' experiences. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so here I am on my database. Now, we have received our first order for a 3D printer, and our client asked us to install it. On our side, we already have the Field Service app installed, which automatically installed the project and timesheets applications as well, so keep that in mind. And I'm going to jump to the Field Service app, and since this is our first service request for a 3D printer, we're going to set up a brand new project to manage all of the future tasks that we will have related to our 3D printers. So to do that, I'm going to go to Configuration and Projects and click on Create. And of course, the first thing we're going to need is a project name. So I'm going to say 3D printer. And then I can add a description as well. So I can say installation, repair, maintenance, etc. All right, and I have some options to modify the text there as well. And then I can also change the name of the tasks, which is a completely cosmetic change. So if you would like to give your project's tasks a little bit of a less generic name and say something like jobs or repairs or whatever the project might require, you can modify that as well. Now we're going to jump on over to the Settings tab where we have some other options. So the first will be our Project Manager, which we can add, although we don't have to. All right, in this case, let's go ahead and say that Mitchell Admin will be the Project Manager. He will schedule all of the tasks. He'll assign them to different employees, for example, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. We can also add a specific customer as well if we have a customer who we do a lot of repairs for or installations or whatever it is. It might be useful to have a project dedicated to a specific customer and schedule those tasks in that specific project. We can even choose an email alias. So if we have an email alias set up for this project, anytime someone sends an email to that email alias, it will create a task in the project, which is nice. So for example, I can say oneprinter@mycompany.odoo.com. And I did say it would be anyone who sends an email to that alias, but actually we can choose who we accept the emails from. So it can be anyone or everyone, or just authenticated partners, followers only, or authenticated employees. All right, on the right, we have some visibility options. So we can allow all invited internal users to see these tasks. So those will be specific internal users that have been invited, or it can be all internal users. So all of our employees will be able to see and access this project, or it can be all of our internal users or specific invited portal users. So this is useful if I have a customer who, of course, doesn't have an internal user with my database, but they do have a portal account, and I can go ahead and give them access so they can see those tasks if I would like them to. So if I do choose that option, I can select those allowed portal users just below. And if we're in a multi-company environment, we can select our company, and then we have a few other options below, all of which are selected for now. So we have our timesheets, which will enable you to log time on your tasks. We have our timesheet timer, which will actually enable you or your employees to track time using a timer on site, which is very convenient. We also have the billable option, which will allow you to invoice your time and material to the customers, as well as products on tasks, which will allow you to track the material that's actually used on site during those jobs. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. We can create any number of projects, but for now, we're gonna go back to the dashboard and create a new task for this project. So I'm gonna jump to the dashboard by clicking on Field Service, and then I'm simply gonna click on Create, and I will add my task title. Of course, again, that's one of the most important things. So in this case, let's say installation of Model 5 printer. All right, and then we have our project selected, although I have access to 2 projects, so I can change that if I needed to, but of course in this case it is for our 3D printer. All right, it's assigned to me by default, or to Mitchell Admin, who I'm logged in as by default, since Mitchell Admin is the one who's creating this task. We can also add our planned date, so we can say tomorrow at 5 o'clock, for example, for an hour. All right, we can add the specific customer as well. So let's add Azure Interior. We need their address. We need to know where we are going, to which site. And I'm also going to add a tag as well. So in this case, I'm going to say VIP customer because they are very important. They're VIPs. Then I can add a description if I would like to provide some more information about what is needed for this specific job. And then we can save. All right, so my task is set up. So that was pretty simple. And something that's really cool that I would like to point out is that if there's another task that is scheduled or another job that is scheduled at the same time for this person, you're actually going to get a warning. So for example, if I duplicate this, I'm going to see one other task for this employee is scheduled at the same time, which is great. It's just going to help avoid us from overloading our employees, double booking them, it will help us avoid to have to cancel on one of our customers, which would be a disaster, especially if they're a VIP customer. All right, so let's avoid that at all costs, thanks to the Odoo warning. All right. So now I'm going to go back, since this is saved, I'm going to go back to my dashboard view. So again, I can click on Field Service, or I can go to My Tasks and Tasks again. All right, and here I'm looking at all of my tasks and those that are planned for today or the future. And I know that they're planned for today or the future because I have this filter here. If I want to see all of my tasks, I simply have to remove that, or all tasks. I can remove the second filter, which I can do since I have the access rights. But let's just look at my tasks for now. So I have some different options here directly from the dashboard view, so I can prioritize some tasks by starring, or I can unprioritize some tasks by unstarring. So for example, I know that this is a VIP customer, so I'm going to go ahead and star this task. I can also schedule some activities from here as well. So for example, if I need to remind myself that I need to call them before I actually show up on site, I can schedule an activity there. Of course, I see the dates of these tasks, which is really nice. All right, and I have some other views as well, which is really great. And some employees have different preferences. So here we're looking at the Kanban view. But for example, I can look at the map view, which is great, day of. You're going to see that I also have some tasks in Belgium. So I think I'm going to have to ask one of my Belgian colleagues to take that over. I'm not sure I'm going to make it. And then we'll see that I have a task here at this specific address. I can open this, I can navigate there. So again, this is really useful the day of. I see those tasks. I have my calendar view as well, which is the view that I personally prefer because I just like this overview and it's super clear. And of course, I can modify these tasks by clicking on Edit from here. All right, so it's super easy to manage this way. I have my list view, of course. And let's not forget that I can always use my group by and filter option. So if I just want to look at those that are planned for today, I can just do that. I don't have any, so I think I'm pretty much good to go. I can also look at those that I need to schedule still that I'm assigned to. And then lastly, we have our Gantt view as well, which is really great. I can drag and drop if I need to reschedule some of these. So let's go ahead and say that I'm going to move yesterday's to today. And then again, let's try to use our little filter. I'm just going to see those that are planned for today. So I have some really great views. Of course, I can edit this by clicking on the task from here as well. All right, so let's now go back to our task. And I'm just going to go from the main dashboard view, even though we could edit it from the different views as I just showed you. All right, and what I want to do is start the timer. So let's imagine that I have arrived on site and I do need to timesheet my time. So since I'm gonna go to the site, I actually would like to just record the time, start when I get there, stop it when I leave. It's super easy and simple. So all you have to do is click on start. We see that the timer has started, it's going. Let's imagine I want to pause for a break, get a coffee. I just have to click on pause, or for lunch or whatever I might want to pause for. And then I can resume whenever I'm done with my little break. And when I'm done, I can click on stop, and then I have my duration, which I can confirm the time that's spent, and I can add the description. So I can say first part done. All right, now you should keep in mind that Odoo will automatically round up the recorded time. So you're gonna notice here that even though I only spent maybe about 30 seconds, it's rounding up to 15 minutes. Now that is an option that you can modify in the timesheets application settings. Okay, so that is something you can configure if you would like to have it rounded up even more or less. So by default, it's going to round up to the next quarter of an hour. So in this case, it was about 30 seconds that the timer was going, and it rounded up to 15 minutes. And if you recorded 15 minutes and 1 second, Odoo would suggest adding 30 minutes. But you can still modify the time manually, so there's no problem. All right, so let's start the timer again. We're starting the timer, we stop. Again, the time is rounded up. And then we can go ahead and save. And then when we're done with the day, we're gonna click on Mark as Done, and you're gonna notice that that start button goes away once you mark it as done, because in theory, if you're done with the task, you shouldn't have to record your time anymore that way, but you can always edit it manually. As I said before, so you can click on the edit button, and we can either modify what already exists, or we can even delete a time if we would like to by clicking on the bin. We can add some more time. All right, so you can always edit it manually after the fact, which is really useful, especially, for example, you get on site and you're just totally blank on starting the timer and you don't remember until after lunch. There's no problem. You can always modify your time after the fact if you need to. Okay, so again, we have those two ways to record our time, either manually by clicking on edit and adding the time, or using the timer, which is just super convenient. And you should definitely check out our videos on timesheets as well. All right, but for now, we're gonna save it like this. This is our task. We saw how to check out our own tasks. Now, as a manager, I wanna see how I can manage all of the tasks. So since I have the access as the manager, I'm gonna go to All Tasks. All right, and I see all of the tasks that are assigned to various employees or those that aren't assigned at all. And if I want to see quickly some tasks that are in the different stages or whatever I would like to see, I can group by different things. So for example, let's group by the project. All right, so I have one in my 3D printer, I have five in field service. I can even group by stage. So in field service, I see I have 1 scheduled, 1 done, and 3 that are undefined. All right, so it just helps me stay organized. I, of course, can use filters as well. So let's imagine I just want to check out the tasks that we have for our very important customers, our very important people. And I know that I have been adding that tag to some tasks, or I ask my employees to do that. So I'm just going to search for tasks that contain the tag VIP, and I'm going to get those 2 tasks here. So I'm going to pay extra attention to those. Maybe I will prep Mitchell admin before he goes to those sites. So I can just really stay organized and keep an eye on what's happening. And I can also schedule the undefined tasks as well, or the tasks that are ready to be scheduled. So to do that, I can either stay here and click on to schedule, or I can go to All Tasks and directly those that are to schedule. Now, the tasks that will be to scheduled here, those are the tasks that either need to be planned to have a scheduled date or need to be assigned to a specific person. So you're gonna see here that this one is assigned to Abigail, but there's no planned date. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll click on Apply, Save. If we go back, we'll see that it has been removed to the to schedule list because it has a planned date and it's scheduled to a specific person. And if we go to this one here and we schedule it, so let's say the 18th, and we apply, save, go back to those that need to be scheduled. Still, we will see that it's still there because it also needs to be assigned to a specific person. All right, so we're going to assign that to Abigail once again. All right, and then we will have those that are left over. But that's not all. There's also another way, or an even better way, some might say, to schedule and organize tasks. And you simply have to go to planning, and you can do that by project, or you can even do that by user, whatever you prefer. And you can see all of the tasks that are planned. We're looking at this week. And here it's great because you can drag and drop. So for example, we have this unassigned task here. Is in the unassigned section. And if I want to assign it to Abigail, I'll simply drag it and drop it. And at the same time, I'm rescheduling it from the 15th to the 16th because I see both of my employees are busy at that time. So I'll let the customer know, no problem. And if I want to add a new task from here as well, it's super simple. I either can click on the add button at the top left, or I can, let's say I know that it'll be for Wednesday the 17th. I can click on create. Okay, fill out the information. If I know it'll be the 17th and assigned to Mitchell admin, I can go next to his name here, click on create. It will already be assigned to Mitchell admin and then fill out the details. So planning the tasks, rearranging, organizing everything you need is super simple with this application and from this view as well. Now, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.